Hey, how's it going today? It's Will Ripley here with Campfire Guitar Star. We're going to break down No Excuses and Rooster by the iconic 90s rock band Alice in Chains. They're really well known for their awesome acoustic songs, and these songs are just so epic, and they share a commonality with the chord that the guitarist Jerry Cantrell is using. And they're kind of like bar chords. However, they're actually a lot easier than bar chords, and they utilize open strings. And so we're going to learn these bar chords. However, every time we move these chords around, it kind of technically changes the chord, but you don't have to worry about that because it just looks the exact same with your fingerings. So my point is that if you're struggling with bar chords, this is going to be a perfect lesson for you, because I love lessons like this where you can learn classic songs, but also get practice and also learn a new technique. So let's just go over the technique firstly and foremostly. So what you're hearing me do there on the intro is these open style bar chords, okay? And so really, if you kind of think about your E major chord, that's where all your major bar chord is derived from. So if you just go ahead and take that E major chord and actually play it with a few different fingers. Now this might seem silly to you right now, but you're going to see as we learn the track No Excuses that this chord actually comes in handy. And when you're playing bar chords, a lot of times an E major chord will line up in the song that you're playing, and so using this fingering is actually really, really handy. So go ahead and line up your fingers like this, so we're not using our first finger, okay? And so now as soon as we move that E major chord up, it actually sounds kind of cool, right? But also very dissonant, and we kind of get this Spanish sound. And that's also super fun to rip out at parties. People love that when you play it. So that's super fun. But yeah, so we get this crazy Spanishy dissonant chord right here, right? Now, of course, the whole concept with the bar chord is that we're going to take our finger and cross all of those strings to actually get rid of that dissonant sound, so we can kind of just take this E major chord and just move it up, right? So of course all that dissonance goes away. And then of course we just move this up, and we've got your F major chord, F sharp major, G sharp major, A major, and so on and so forth. So you can actually play all of your major chords by utilizing and getting this bar chord integrated in your playing, okay? Now, what we're going to talk about in this lesson, however, is we're going to be talking about these chords right here. Okay, and the first track that we're going to get into is Rooster by Alice in Chains, which sounds like this. Okay, really, really pretty, big sounding, resonant chords. And so quite simply what I'm doing is I'm switching from a 2nd fret bar chord, an F sharp major chord, to this guy right here, and all of a sudden I've got a B string and an E string open. Okay, so now as you'll see here, my first finger is only covering the root note, and that's why these chords are so fantastic for learning bar chords and just getting bar chords in your playing. Okay, so just before we get into Rooster, just have a mess around with these. It sounds awesome on the 2nd fret. It's one of my very favorite chords. Anytime that I can put that into a song that I'm writing or something, I just try to do it because I just love that sound. And then we've talked about 1st fret, how that's it gives you kind of that Spanish dissonance. So 2nd fret, very cool. 3rd fret, all of a sudden it kind of sounds a little bit more kind of clear, a little less dissonant, okay? 4th fret is super dissonant. However, if you know the song Say It Ain't So, there's that chord. Okay, so although it sounds very dissonant, if you want to learn that Weezer song, Say It Ain't So, in fact, we actually have a video of that on the YouTube channel. So just search Say It Ain't So or Weezer. You'll find it right here on the Campfire Guitar Star YouTube channel. Moving along, just keep on messing around with these. You'll find the 5th fret sounds good. 6th fret, not so much. I haven't really found a use for the 6th fret. 7th fret though, that's the No Excuses chord that you heard me play there on the intro, and I'm actually just switching between 5th fret, sliding that up to the 7th fret, okay? And so on and so forth. So 9th fret, not so much, but 8th fret, really nice resonant chord. 10th fret. And my guitar here cuts off at the 12th fret, so this is a little bit hard, but probably your guitar in your lap, you can hit this one a little easier. But yeah, the 12th fret sounds really good because that's just this chord 1 octave higher, an entire 12th fret higher. So that's the technique that we're going to be covering. So just mess around with those chords, and you can start strumming them and messing around with them and just integrating them. And you'll find that they sound super resonant, they're beautiful, and they're fun to play. And sure enough, we're going to learn 2 Alice in Chains songs here, No Excuses and Rooster, that utilize these. So check it out. So to get into Rooster, this is a great practice for your bar chords because you're going to actually play a 2nd fret bar chord, okay, your F sharp major chord, and then we're going to hit this guy, my favorite chord, the 2nd fret, and this just becomes an F major sus add 9. Okay, so we're adding notes to this. So this B string is the sussed note, the 4th degree of the scale, and then the E is the 9. Okay, so we've got an F major chord that we're sussing and adding a 9. It could also be called an F major add 11 add 9. Okay, so we've got a very complex sounding chord, and sure enough, it has a complex sound, right? So we've got 2nd fret bar chord, and then quite simply do that exact same technique up on the 5th fret. And you'll catch that strum I'm doing, going down, up, into our new technique here. And then the 5th fret, down, up, strum, into our colorful chord, okay? So quite simply, just mess around with that for a second. Maybe you want to pause the video and just work on that. Maybe play along with me. You can add some extra strums in there. And I'm just doing a quick down, down, up there, right at the very end. But you could just go down, up, down, and then switch. Get a nice rhythm going there. Maybe if you sing, this would be the rhythm to play. To start singing that verse over Rooster. Okay? And then if you wanted to play it a little bit more like Alice in Chains, you'd want to add in a little bit more strumming. So we'd go. Okay? So I love that. It's just, as soon as you hear that intro, it's just like, bang, that's Alice in Chains, Rooster, so good. Love that track. So in the chorus, all you're gonna do is you're gonna move those chords. We're gonna go up to the 7th fret, and then the 10th fret. And you can kind of drive this little section a little bit. So this is kind of the chorus of the song where they sing the hook, and the song is called Rooster, and where they're singing the word rooster. So we've got 7th fret. You can drive it, lots of down and up strumming, just kind of like just driving that rhythm. Into 10th fret, down to our original 2nd fret. Repeat that. And they just grab a quick you could play a power chord, or if you know this major chord here, 2nd fret major chord off the A string, okay? Just does a quick little shot on that, and if you know the track, also there's a great MTV acoustic version of this, so make sure to check that out. You could optionally also go up to the 7th fret and just use this shape, so that would sound like this. Back to the chorus. And then the band kicks in. Okay? Okay, so there's Rooster. Let's hop into No Excuses by Alice in Chains, which you heard me play there on the intro. This is maybe even easier than Rooster because we don't even have to play the bar chord. However, there's some other techniques here. Mainly this slide, okay? 5th fret, open chord, this open bar chord technique that we got going on. And sure enough, in this case, we've got an A major with an added 9th, and then we're gonna go up to a B, okay? And this is really just a B major chord with an add 11. So again, we keep on adding these 9s and 11s to the chords to make them sound more complex. So this is mainly the thing here is we're gonna go this A chord to this B chord, but we're gonna slide. Okay? And so the big thing with this slide is you're going to want to crush the tips of your fingers right into that fretboard so hard and then roll them over the frets and just press through the frets. And yeah, you're going to feel those frets dig into your fingers. But after you get it so quickly like that, you don't even feel it. It's not even painful anymore. But to get that slide happening at a slower pace and just get everything clean, yeah, you might feel some discomfort there and feel those frets digging into your fingers. Now the big thing with the strumming here is if you imagine that bass line, okay, and we'll also talk about how to play the bass line along with this track, but that's what I'm hearing in my head when I strum this song, because all the guitar is doing is really riding on this B major chord. And I'm just hearing that bass line going, and I'm really just accenting that melody. But that's the big thing, is just kind of try to hear that bass line melody in your head while you strum that. Otherwise, here it is a little slower. Down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, so there's quite a few upstrokes in there. Because yeah, it's kind of a danceable, bouncy song. And it's speaking about Alice in Chains being dark and heavy. This is probably their lightest, most happy song. However, the lyrics are still very dark. But anyways. Down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up. And then all you're going to want to do there is just throw in that slide, and then you pretty much got the beef of the song, kind of the meat of it. So we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I don't know if you can see, but my thumb is pressed in the back of the neck just like you would be doing for a bar chord. And to do that slide, what I'm doing is I'm keeping my thumb planted so that I get nice pressure on the strings and I can squeeze the neck and get those fingers pressed into the fretboard really firmly. However, what you'll notice is that when I slide up, my thumb actually stays in the same spot. So I just wanted to mention that to you if you're kind of struggling with that slide. it's like my fingers are moving, but my thumb stays planted. And yeah, it is changing the angle, but it's not changing the position on the neck, okay? Okay, so that's the main part of the verse when the singing happens and that groove is happening. Then the chorus, you're just gonna use all these same techniques, and we're just gonna go down to 3rd fret with this nice open chord. We're gonna go to 5th fret and back to the 7th. We're gonna hit that again, 3rd fret to 5th fret, and this time all the way down to E major. Now, if you've been watching this lesson step by step with me, you'll remember that we talked about this chord and how I'm not playing my E major chord, probably how maybe you've seen it in a diagram, or if you have the 5-minute guitar book, that's how we have it written out in our chord charts, is like this. This is how you'll always see an E major written. However, because we're playing this bar chord shape, it only makes sense to actually slide this thing down and keep this shape intact, because guess what? What you're gonna do is you're gonna go right back into the verse, and you may as well just slide this shape around always, okay? So it's actually gonna really, really help you. So again, that chorus, we've got 3rd fret to 5th fret, back up to 7th fret. We'll talk about the strumming here in just a second. I just want you to get these shapes going on with me here. So then we got 3rd fret to 5th fret, and then again, just slide the shape all the way down to E major. So let's go ahead and take the chorus nice and slow. And we're gonna do a very similar strumming to what we've already talked about, but of course now we're gonna be switching these chords. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's the chorus, and then we're back into the verse part, which we talked about already. So let's just hit that chorus together one more time, nice and slow, starting from the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Hit the chorus. All right, you notice that the only thing that we haven't talked about yet is just that A to B slide, which we have talked about. However, you'll notice that what I'm doing there is, instead of like that quick slide, there's actually a strum that happens on that A major chord on the 5th fret. Okay? So instead of, it's this. So it starts a little bit earlier, therefore it lasts a little bit longer and kind of fills up that space. So especially after, like, it happens really at two sections, really the intro. So it'll be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it happens at the very intro, and then right at the end of the chorus, when we hit that E major chord. Okay, and so it's just a slight rhythmic variation, but in case you're looking for that hook, I thought I would mention it. All right, guys, so that's what I had for you today. I love Alice in Chains. They're one of my favorite bands. And if you know me, you know that I love 90s rock, and I love these chords. You see a lot of 90s rock bands playing these chords, everybody from Weezer to Our Lady Peace to Alice in Chains. And yeah, they sound awesome on acoustic and electric, and surprisingly, they're pretty easy to play, and they just sound so beautiful, huge, and resonant. So hopefully you like this lesson, get those techniques into your fingers, And hey, why not learn a couple of classic Alice in Chains tracks while you're at it? So we covered Rooster and No Excuses. And of course, you can download those tabs and the chords and all the chord charts and stuff like that in the description below, so make sure to get that. And speaking about all the stuff below this video, you'll see the like button. Give us a thumbs up if you thought this lesson was good. Make sure to subscribe, and also there's a little bell next to the subscribe button these days. And if you want to get more guitar lessons from us, make sure to hit that bell and you'll be notified when we go live on the YouTube channel, which PS is every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going live on the YouTube channel here and doing live lessons. And then also we release one of these pre-recorded video lessons for you every week as well. So definitely going to want to stick around for that. Also, we do a whole bunch of stuff at Campfire Guitar Star, one of which is the 5-Minute Guitar book, which people are loving. And I'm so glad that I wrote this book and spent all the hours creating this book and this video course, which is actually available totally for free. You can even get this book for free. You just have to pay for the shipping. Info for that is in the description below. Also, you can just get a hold of the 5-Minute Guitar video course for free. And then also we have a blues course, a lead guitar program, a 1960s course, and an acoustic course, which is actually going on sale very soon here. So make sure to get on the mailing list so you don't miss that. Also, we do one-on-one webcam coaching. Okay, so if you're ever struggling watching videos and kind of doing the flip around, and maybe you're just having a hard time like doing this guitar thing on your own, then we actually do one-on-one coaching for students all over the world. I know it's crazy, but we link up via webcam with students in Florida and in Vancouver, Canada, and also we have a couple students over in Europe. So it's actually a very real thing. And if you're ever interested in trying that out, we have a super low introductory rate where you can get a couple lessons for 59 bucks. It's just super easy to get started and just to see if it's going to be a right fit for you. So all that info is all for you in the description below. And please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this lesson. And of course, if you had any questions, let me know. Otherwise, keep on ripping it up. Talk to you soon.